Hey guys, it's the end of the week, Friday. Lawrence Presman here. You're watching Puck Time with the Prez. Today's guests, Andrew McGinnis and Alex B. Smith. 7 games on the NHL card. We're going to take apart 4 of them in depth and then look at the last few at 100 miles an hour in the last minute of play. We also have 3 promotions for you all as we move into the weekend. So stay tuned for that. Let's bring the boys in, Andrew and Alex. And Alex, let's start with you. I haven't seen you all week. Thanks for covering for me on Monday. How are you, my friend?
Doing good. I am just super excited for this weekend. Of course, we got a ton of college hoops. We got hockey, but we've got this huge heavyweight title fight between Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury coming tomorrow night. I'm absolutely stoked making my plans to be out and about watching that fight. So looking forward to that, but also looking forward to some of the action tonight. Got a great hockey card, more than usual on a Friday night with 7 games.
Well, why don't you break down the fight? Do you have any thoughts for us?
I do. I actually have a play up at Sports Memo. It's a best bet, but I got it reduced from $40 normally to $25, so you can pick up that play for tomorrow.
Yeah, and guys, also at wagertalk.com, Gianni the Greek, he has a play on the Wilder Fury fight as well. It's a 5-star play. So check Alex and Gianni out, and I'm probably going to rent it, man. I'm curious. I want to see it, and I think it should be a good fight. The last fight, Wilder knocked him out twice, but Fury really dominated the fight from start to finish other than the 2 knockdowns. And I think Wilder needs to realize it's knock him out or lose.
Yeah, I mean, both fighters are going to try to take this fight out of the judge's hands. You've heard Fury in the press conferences all week saying he's going to knock him out in the second round. We know Deontay Wilder has easily some of the most vicious hands in boxing that we've seen in the last 20, 25 years. So I think it's going to be a dynamite fight, and it's definitely going to be one to watch. I'm going to go out to cross town to Minneapolis to watch. I'm not going to. $70, I might as well spend that hanging out at a bar with some people. But like I said, it's worth, if you're going to be at home, order it, stream it, however you can.
He's Alex B. Smith from sportsmemo.com. Andrew McGinnis with us. And Andrew, I just want to let everybody know, has just been rolling this entire hockey season. He's on a 9-1, 5% NHL run, and he is up 40% return on investment in the NHL hockey urine. Guys, I just want to stop and talk about that for a sec because, when we speak to a lot of our clients and they say, when we say we're up 40% return on investment, so they're like, okay, so if I started the year with $1,000 betting roll and now I'm at $1,400, that doesn't seem good. I can just put $1,000 on one play, win it, and be at $2,000. That's not how it actually works. You win, you lose, you win, you lose, you win, you lose, and at the end of the year, all you're trying to do is be up higher than your stockbroker, because that's ultimately where your money goes. Mutual funds, real estate, gold, Bitcoin. The bottom line is 40% return on investment in a season of any sport is a mind-blowing number. Jeff Bezos doesn't do 40%. Warren Buffett doesn't do 40%. So 40% is absolutely outstanding stuff. And Andrew does it year in and year out. We have a promo for him today, and we have another one for Alex coming up. Get 50% off of Andrew McGinnis's entire NHL season. That's half price for Andrew McGinnis's NHL season over at sportsmemo.com. Please use the promo code NHL50. That's NHL50. And Andrew, feel free to tweet it out, and let's get a whole lot of sales, because all you're doing, Andrew, is making money.
This has been one of those seasons, Prez, where, there's been some runs, for sure. There's been some runs, but it's like you said, what I've focused on the most so far this year is just managing my clients' bankrolls, and you can tell by my 5% record that I haven't released too many. It's been, when I release a 5%, it's one play I really, really do love. And I've been trying to just, send out some good analysis, tell clients to manage their bankrolls each and every night. And that's why I love the people that are on for long term, because if you've been with me since the start of the season, we've definitely had a slow grind. Nothing, no crazy numbers, no cherry picking, but close to 55%. And over around 39%, 30 or 40% return on investment, and hopefully build on that.
Congratulations,
as the season
brother.
progresses.
Let's do the first game, and then we'll get into a promotion for Alex. New York Rangers, here they come. They've won 4 of their last 5 games. The only game they lost in that time span was against Boston, which seems to be a general occurrence for any team playing Boston. Rangers, played 59 games this season. They're at 66 points. They're 6 points out of a wild card spot. They have a couple of games in hand on Columbus, couple of games in hand on the Leafs. I mean, they really do have a shot, which puts the Chris Kreiger situation, makes that a lot more interesting because he's the number 1 trade bait out there. But the Rangers are just playing outstanding hockey. They've put the king out to pasture. Their 2 goalies are ridiculous. They are playing tonight against Carolina. Minus 160 for Carolina, and over and under here of 6.5. And Alex, I'll go to you first on this game. I don't know how you can lay 160 against the Rangers right now. They're just playing so good. Carolina, they beat Nashville 4-1. They lost to Edmonton. They beat New Jersey. They lost to Dallas. This team is zigzagging right now, which means the next zag is a loss. I think the Rangers are very live tonight, and I lean on the under. 6.5 goals. That seems pretty high to me. What do you like, Alex?
That does seem a bit steep, but I actually would be looking at the over in this spot because these 2 teams have combined to light the lamp quite often in recent meetings. Like I said, the Rangers are playing good hockey, and I think, they do have an outside shot if they can keep a streak running of making it to the playoffs. But honestly, I think the reason they're playing so well right now is because they're playing a bit pressure-free hockey. They know that, okay, Kreider might get dealt. We're more than likely not going to make a deep run. Even if we should sneak into a wild card spot, we're not really going to compete with the Tampa Bays and Bostons of the world this season. So I think having that pressure off, on the flip side, Carolina still being in that wild card hunt, the pressure might be getting to them a little bit, and they're zigzagging a bit. They have to try to reduplicate that run that they made the last couple of years, getting into the postseason. So, like I said, it could be a lot of spot for the Rangers.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm not. I mean, you'll chime in here. I'm not really buying into the over in this game. I feel like putting 3 or 4 up against the Rangers goaltending duo is quite a feat, and for Carolina to win, they got to keep playing that New York Islanders, St. Louis Blues, Columbus style forecheck. I'm going to keep on my under in this game, and I still think the Rangers are very live. What do you like?
Yeah, well, to your point, Prez, in this game, first and foremost, I don't think Carolina should be laying the price that they're laying against New York, and that's the first issue when we're handicapping this game. New York's been cashing underdog tickets left and right throughout the entire season, and this is a really juicy spot here with a good number that I'd be interested in backing New York here. But it's an interesting spot to total because you guys both bring up pretty good points. And when I'm first looking at this game, I'm thinking about the over, but then I'm looking at Shesterkin. I'm looking at Mrazek.
Yeah.
At 2.67 goals against average for Mrazek, 2.28 goals against average for Shesterkin. I mean, it's unbelievable. This guy, I mean, we do not see that really this year in the NHL, goals against average like that. This guy is 7-1 on the season. However, if anybody watched that game with New York and Chicago, I talked about that the last time I was on with you, Prez, on this show. 6-3 for the Rangers. That wasn't just a low scoring, great defensive game. That was just, hey, we actually had an outburst in the period, just beat the Blackhawks. That's what happened. I mean, they put up 6 goals on them, and we see Carolina right now. They're either scoring or getting scored on in every single game. I mean, we've seen the total go over in quite a few games for this Carolina team recently. So this is one of those ones where I'm going to look for an in-game bet. If we starts off slow, maybe first period ends 1-0, something like that. Second period, middle of the period slow. I'll look to bet the over in-game at around 4.5 or 5.5, trying to eliminate that 6.5. But we are seeing a 6 Prez at some spots here, but the majority of books are showing a 6.5. This is one of those games where moving forward, even though it doesn't seem like 2 electrifying teams, these are going to be the best games of the night. These are the games that when you see how close these teams are in the playoff hunt or in battling for positions, these are the games as a hockey fan you want to watch. As a bettor, I'd say you want to chase the value, just like you guys said. I wouldn't be laying the 160 with Carolina tonight.
He's Andrew McGinnis. You can get his NHL season for half price. Head over to sportsmemo.com. Use the promo code NHL50. Alex, you've got a 5% NHL play up tonight over at Sports Memo. It's the biggest play you're allowed to put out anywhere at Wager Talk or Sports Memo. I've made a promo code for you. You can tweet it out. So just make sure to do that. The promo code is Alex20. The regular price for the 5% plays are $40. It's yours for $20. It's the feature play tonight. So, guys, if you need to play one play only tonight, Alex's 5% play over at Sports Memo. It's half price. Use the promo code NHL. No, use the promo code Alex20. That's Alex20. Guys, Dallas Stars, man, 2 points behind St. Louis for the top spot, playing outstanding hockey right now. Won 5 of their last 6 games. Their only loss, Ottawa, surprise, surprise. Beat Arizona 3-2. They are playing St. Louis tonight. Minus 147 for Dallas, plus 132 for St. Louis. An over and under of 5.5. And, I predicted a major decline by St. Louis in the month of February, and I was 100% correct. I think they are now going to be a bye team. I think they've gotten through the February blues, the fact that they had such a long playoff run last year. And I think they're going to rev it up and start getting going, and we've seen it. A 1-0 win against Arizona, a 3-0 win against Jersey. And, Alex, I'll go to you first here. I like Dallas a little bit. I like St. Louis a little bit, so I'm not going to go near the damn side. I can make an argument for both. But the 5.5 number, that's what stands out to me. I think this game, if I said to you 2-1 or 4-3, 3-1 or 5-2. What is more likely? This game is going to be a low-scoring hockey game. I am all over the under here. Go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, the under makes total sense. We've seen the under cash in 4 of the last 6 games for St. Louis. You look at Dallas, 11 of the last 16 games at home going under the total, and that's a testament, obviously, to the goaltending we've seen. Like I said, back-to-back shutouts for Jordan Binnington. I can't imagine we'll see him playing tonight, although he's rolling hot, so it wouldn't shock me if he does get the start over Jake Allen. But this is a huge game because this is 1-2 for the Central Division. Dallas, like I said, climbing back into the race, and what a job they've done. We talked about this team pretty much looking to be dead in the water before Thanksgiving, the way that they started off so slow, but they got things rolling right now. He said winning 5 of the last 6. This is 5 I would look for Dallas.
He is Alex B. Smith. You get his 5% play for half price over at sportsmemo.com. Use the promo code Alex20. Andrew, what do you like in this game?
I can't argue with your under. If you go down the list with the Dallas Stars right now, any game that they've looked good or they've been successful, it's been when they've allowed teams 1 or 2 goals. Whenever they fall into a higher scoring type of game, they fall short. And, that game against Arizona for them, that was a complete shutdown game. They allowed 2 goals, but other than that, they had their lead, they protected it, and it was a strong performance out of them defensively and goaltending-wise. Same thing with St. Louis. You were saying you called their little slump there, and the difference is we've seen it over the past 3 games. It was 1-0 against Arizona, 3-0 against New Jersey, and they only allowed 2 goals against Nashville in that loss. This is the kind of team they want to turn back into if they're going to be successful moving forwards, because they cannot be a team that scores 4 or 5 goals and tries to compete in those type of games. They know what their identity is, and they have to return back to that. That's how they made it to the Stanley Cup Finals, how they won. Same thing with Dallas. These are teams in the playoffs that if you watch them in the playoffs, you would still be entertained with a 1-0 game, And that's the biggest thing I think people have to realize. If you're a hockey fan, if you're a hockey bettor, I was at a game in my hometown last night seeing Alexis Lafreniere. He's the number 1 overall pick, pretty much confirmed for next year. He was playing the Halifax team, and it was a 1-0 game. And Lafreniere's team has been blowing everyone out, but Halifax knew that if they were going to be successful against this team, they had to play low scoring, and they ended up winning 1-0. That's kind of what St. Louis and Dallas are doing right now. They have to prove they can be low scoring. So, guys, I'm on 2 bets for this game, and I don't do these too much, but I'm on the first period under 1.5 goals here at -115, and I'm also on no goal in the first 10 minutes at +120, a decent plus price there.
Yeah, not bad at all. Andrew McGinnis from sportsmemo.com. Really awesome game tonight with Boston going into Calgary. Calgary holding on to that final wild card spot by the skin of their teeth. They have 68 points. Arizona's got 68 too, tied with them. But Calgary has 3 games in hand. And they're also, funnily enough, only 4 games out of first place in that division, which is absolutely amazing. They're playing Boston. Boston just went into Edmonton, won the game in overtime. And, well, we all know how much they're rolling. They've won 4 in a row. They've won 10 of 11. Calgary, I look at this game and, Calgary is zigzagging like we're talking about with Carolina, and they just beat Anaheim 6-4. After losing to Chicago 8-4, which is shocking. Very rarely do you see 8 goals in a game. I look at this and I think, and I'll go to you first, Andrew, on this game. Calgary is at +121. I can't take the Bruins. I want to take the Bruins. They're rolling. They're probably the most dominant team in all of hockey. It just doesn't feel right. I can't sit here and list a whole bunch of reasons why. But I think Calgary gets it done tonight.
I'm not really too sure about the side, but I like the over 5.5 here, Prez. I think it's a pretty good number we're getting with, it makes sense. Boston's been playing some great defensive hockey, and Calgary, that's kind of been how they've been winning. But at the same time, over their past couple of games, they've been involved in some really high scoring games to be giving us this 5.5 total. I mean, on a larger scale in the season, I think we can call them an under team, but not recently. That game against Anaheim, Anaheim's team total was 2.5 in that. I just want to throw that out there because I mentioned that stat like a few weeks ago on the show. 6-4 game. It started 0-0. I caught the over 4.5 live. This is what Calgary's doing. I mean, they'll play 15 minutes of good defensive hockey, and then they'll just go right back into playing pond hockey. And that's how it seems like all their games are going to go. This is Boston's second game out on the West Coast. My theory is that the longer you spend out the West Coast, the higher scoring your games are going to get. The defensive laziness, the defensive intensity kind of turns down a little bit. You're on the road for a little while, and 5.5 I think is a pretty low total. 4 of the last 5 meetings in Calgary have gone over the total, and we're seeing this top line of Bergeron, Pasta, and Marchand just light it up like crazy. It's just been unbelievable. We're seeing no shortage of scoring, guys, for Calgary. I mean, 6 goals against Anaheim, 4 goals against Chicago, 6 goals against Anaheim again, 6 goals against San Jose, 6 against Vancouver. Why are we seeing a 5.5 total here? Is it all because of Boston? I think we can get over 5.5 here and like this play a lot.
I agree 100%, and I think you broke that down brilliantly. Alex, where are you going here?
I'm disagreeing with both of you guys. I'm going with Boston and the under in this spot. You look at the Bruins. I mean, they are primed right now to get right back to last year as representing the Eastern Conference and making a run to the Stanley Cup. The way that they're playing on both ends of the ice, the defense, they're holding teams to 1 goal or fewer in 8 of the last 10 games. And the rich is getting richer. They get Andre Case in a trade just an hour ago from Anaheim. They're sending David Backes and a first-round pick and a prospect to the Ducks. So this is a Boston team that seems to be ready to make a deep run, and they're getting it done. I don't see where Calgary, it's a team that's lost 5 of 6 at home. They're, like I said, finding their bearings. They're getting, offense at times, but then, like I said, giving up 8 goals to the Hawks, especially when the Hawks are playing like absolute crap offensively right now. That's a bad sign. I think Boston wins it easily here.
Guys, remember to take advantage of Alex's promotion today, 5% play over at Sports Memo. It's yours for half price. Use the promo code ALEX20. Minnesota against Edmonton. Edmonton, man, they're playing inspired hockey since McDavid went out. Sorry about that. And they I just got a text. My brain went numb. They lost to Boston, but they got a point, and Connor showed up to a practice, which is probably going to give the team a lot of life. They are playing Minnesota tonight, and Minnesota's playing good hockey too. They're still not out of it. Edmonton minus 115, a total of 5.5, and I'm going to look at under the total in this game. Andrew?
I'm going to go with Edmonton here. We saw a great performance from Minnesota. We saw Alex Galchenyuk score that shootout winner for them against Vancouver. That was a really competitive game for them. But I just think that's not going to last. They rallied. That was their game after Bruce Boudreau got fired. Ultimately, I think Edmonton's still a better team despite not having McDavid still. And it's a pretty fair price. That's pretty much my handicap. I mean, guys, we're getting a minus 110 here with what I think is a far better team.
Alex B. Smith, regale us, baby.
Yeah, I mean, this is a tough spot for Minnesota here. Like I said, they were able to come back and get the win in the shootout, but they ended up blowing a 3-1 lead in that contest against Vancouver. You know, rumblings around town that, you know, Guerin's shaking things up. Obviously, we saw that with the way he fired Boudreau. He's going to make some more deals between now and Monday. I just see where things are going to start to slide off for Minnesota, where Edmonton, like you said, McDavid showing up to practice, giving them a little bit of life, a little bit of hope. This seems like a good spot for Edmonton here, and I could definitely see where the under comes into play because Minnesota's offense just not clicking on the same cylinder that we saw, especially now with the loss of Jason Zucker. So it's going to be a little tough for them to score goals consistently night after night.
I think this is going to be one of those games where people realize, hey, look, Minnesota played really good against Vancouver, and they get some respect from them, and they're going to come out here tonight and put up a terrible performance. This is, you know, I could be completely wrong, but I think that it's going to fool a lot of people that game against Vancouver.
Guys, if you're going to watch the Wilder fight, the Fury fight, Alex B. Smith has a play on it at Sports Memo, and so does Gianni the Greek over at Wager Talk. Boys, let's go through the rest of the card. I just want to quickly make mention. I've been promoting myself all week. I mean, look, I am on just a monster of a run. I understand that, you know, I lost my NHL play again last night, 3 in a row. What can you do, man? Like, what am I going to do? Win every damn play? I'm still 20-10 in my last 30 NHL plays, and I'm up even more than 40% return on the season. So, I mean, it is what it is. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. Even Tampa Bay Lightning lost a few games in a row. My college basketball, 12-2 in my last 14. 12-2 college basketball run. We're getting right into the heart, the sexiness of college basketball, if you will. And you can have my entire season and madness package for $199. Head over to wagertalk.com. Use the promo code CBB199. This is the last day that will be offered. Okay. 15 seconds each. And Andrew, that means 15 seconds. Like, there is a reason we do 4 games in depth and then the rest quickly. I don't need you to go on and on and on.
It's because sometimes, Prez, the ones that you click, that you decide for us not, like, for it to be the last minute of play, are the ones that I've prepared for the most.
Well, so next time, how about this, Andrew? You pick which 4 you want to talk about next time you're on the show.
Okay.
Alex, before we get into the last minute of play, I know you're regularly on Mondays. Buster is out of town on Wednesday. I need to swap the two of you. So
yeah, he talked to me earlier. That's fine.
Andrew, you and Buster will be on the Monday show. Okay, boys. Okay. New York Islanders, minus 310 against Detroit. Over and under 5.5. How the hell can you lay 310 to a team that is just in a complete and utter free fall? They can barely score a goal. Detroit's live and the under is in play. Alex?
Detroit sucks. Islanders aren't playing that well. I'd look at the draw, plus 360. I could easily see this game being 1-1 after 60 minutes.
Well, then he likes the under too, everybody. Andrew?
I like the first period plus a half goal for the Detroit Red Wings, minus 130.
Very impressive. I didn't even get a chance to sip there, Andrew. That was nice, tight, short, quick. Super cool. You guys watch Survivor?
No. I used to. Not anymore.
Yeah, I stopped as well.
Didn't somebody get kicked out of that, Prez, because they were, like, being creepy?
I don't know, dude.
I heard a guy got kicked out of that show this year because
he was perving?
they were being too handsy.
Yeah, well, that seems reasonable to me. All there is skin on that damn show. You watch the Democratic debate?
Nope.
Man, that was entertaining. Oh, my God. I usually find those things so boring. Oh, my God. I mean, Wednesday night's debate was like must-see television.
They're coming out firing. They're coming out firing for each other. Obviously, you got a lot of horses going for one spot, so it's gonna get messier between now and the primary.
Yeah. So if Bloomberg wins the Democratic nomination, the irony. I mean, you have a class divide in America that is getting bigger and bigger by the minute. You have more people in poverty than ever before. The middle class is shrinking. And yet we're going to have two misogynistic, narcissistic, arrogant billionaires running against each other. Oh, the entertainment.
As they say, 6 in one hand and half a dozen in the other.
It's almost like all in both hands between the two of them. Chicago plus 110 against Nashville, over and under is 6.5. Andrew.
I don't like either team right now, to be honest with you.
One has to win.
I'm going to go over 6.5.
Alex, you know Chicago,
Nashville.
Dude. This is your team, yeah. Alex.
It is, and guys are getting ready to pack their luggage and figure out where they're going after Monday. Nashville wins this one handily. I take them on the puck line.
Okay, there you go. Anaheim plus 145 against Colorado, over and under of 6. I got no opinion on this game. Andrew?
Colorado, they found a way last game to get the job done. They figured out that they're going to have to play, first of all, better defensively without a few of their key guys. And not only just that, but they're going to have to, if they get the lead, protect it. They did that exact thing against New York in their last game. So I'm going to go under the total here against the Anaheim team that's been going over the total quite a bit here, but we're still seeing a 6. And, it was really impressive to me, guys, to see Colorado go out there with that 3-1 win, because it was a very messy 4-3 loss against Tampa Bay. They lost Mikko Rantanen. They're now without Calvert, Kadri, Grubauer, Rantanen now. I mean, it's a lot of people, a lot of key guys that are out, and they're going to have to buckle down defensively. They did that. So I'm going to go under 6, try and ride this trend under with Colorado.
That's the show, boys. No parlay from Vivian. She got beat up last night, so she's taking the day off. Guys, such a pleasure to do this show with
you guys.
The two
You want to hear my pick on Colorado Anaheim or no?
Nah. Yeah, okay, I forgot. What the hell is wrong with me, man? I think I'm getting dementia.
Right. It's Friday. That happens. No.
Yeah, I've done that twice this week.
I'll be quick with it. Anaheim 19-5 in the first period over trend. Colorado 21-8 to the first period over on the road. So get the short price of minus $1.25. Take the first period over.
There you go, boys. Thanks so much for watching the show, being part of the Puck Time family. First Pitch, the baseball show, begins in a month. Check that out. Going to have really cool graphics for that as well, and I'll also be adding cool graphics into Puck Time in the next 2 or 3 weeks. Love doing the show with both
Prez,
of you. Yep.
Sorry to interrupt you, but I'll have a podcast out later tonight with Drew Martin previewing a few games for Saturday's slate of the NHL.
Perfect. And Drew's such a great host. It should be really fun to watch. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you all on Monday with Andrew McGinnis and Buster Sports.